Hello students, here today I am starting with a new chapter from economics. Chapter 4, Globalization and the Indian Economy. Globalization, Liberalization, Privatization. These are the three new economic policies which we adopted in India from 1991 onwards. New economic policies. So there were some old economic policies for our country. So before going to new, we should know what is old. During our time of independence, the whole world was divided into two economies. The countries of the world were divided into two economies. One is capitalistic economy, another one is socialistic economy. Countries like USA, UK, France, Germany, these are the main countries, those who followed the capitalistic economy or capitalism. Countries like Russia, China, Cuba, these are the countries which are followed the socialistic economy in the world. So what is the difference between capitalistic economy and socialistic economy? Capitalism. Here the individual is the owner of the production. Every decisions are taken by the individuals. Market decisions, economic decisions are taken by the individuals. But when it comes into socialistic economy, we can see the presence of government. Government controls the production. Government is the owner of the production. Individual is not having any role at all to do in the socialistic economy. This is the main difference between capitalistic economy and the socialistic economy. Next one, profit is the motive of the capitalistic economy. Individual is able to make the maximum profit from the market. When it comes into socialistic economy, government never think about the profit. Instead of that, what they think? To give public welfare, to make public welfare. This is the motive of the socialistic economy. So these are the two main importance between a capitalistic economy and the socialistic economy. Now, whenever India got freedom in 1947, our first central ministry under the leadership of Jawaharlal Nehru decided not to adopt a capitalistic economy or not to adopt a socialistic economy. Instead of that, we made a new economy for our country which is called as mixed economy. Mixed means mixture of both capitalism and socialism together. We have taken the good points of capitalism and the good points of socialism together and we made a new economy for our country which is called as mixed economy. We can see the government schools in our country and at the same time private schools also. Government transportation and the private transportation, railway, Rajasthan Road Transport Corporation, at the same time private buses are also going on. So both the government and private are mixed up together in our country which is called as mixed economy. But in this mixed economy, the first ministry and the coming ministries, they had given more importance to socialism and less importance to capitalism. More government institutions, more government factories, more government authorities were made in the Indian economy and less importance was given to capitalistic economy, that means to the private, to the individuals for starting industry and various other things. Till 1991 it went on without any disturbances. But by 1991 the ministry led by P.V. Narasimha Rao as the Prime Minister and Manmohan Singh as the Finance Minister, they understood the drawbacks of our Indian economy with that systems. What was the drawback? Main drawback, corruption occurred in most of the government areas. Together with that, losses in the institutions, factories and other places. So this was a critical problem for our country. So they decided to bring capitalistic ideas more into our Indian economy and they tried to reduce the socialistic ideas from the Indian economy. Capitalistic ideas means they brought three new policies which are called as liberalization, privatization and globalization. These are the three new policies which are a phase of capitalism brought into Indian economy by 1991, the Ministry of 1991. So from there onwards, we try to reduce the importance of socialism and we give more importance to capitalism. This is the introductory part of this chapter, which is not mentioned in your book. So we have to understand this part. Now we are coming into these three new policies. Liberalization. What do you mean by liberalization? Reducing government controls and regulations from private sector and give freedom to private. This is the policy which is called as liberalization. There were lots of controls upon the private, upon individuals to start an industry, to run an industry. So these types of controls and regulations are taken out, abolished by the government and give freedom to individuals. This policy of the government is called as liberalization. Liberal means freedom. So what steps were taken for that? There were various things which the various industries which the government only can start. Now that things are taken out and given to private also. Except some cases like alcoholic cigarettes or hazardous chemicals. These are the things are not given today also. It is given, but only with the permission the private can start that one. Many of the things now the private can do, or the private can start in the industrial field. There were 17 items reserved for only for government. That is reduced into 3. Especially the defense activities, making of space related items, that is now also with the government. But the remaining 14 items which were already with the government, public sector, it is given to private sector now. Now the third steps which was taken for liberalization is licensing was required for to start an industry. Its formalities were very big in size. Big hurdles were there for that. For licensing, for importing raw material from other countries, control of a market, that means price control in the market. All these were done by the government before, and now the private is able to do all these things easily. So this way the liberalization is done in our Indian economy in a proper way. Second policy, what is the second policy? Privatization. What do you mean by private? I already told you, there were various industries which were running in losses. That industries are selling into private sector. Those who are industries which are running in losses, find out that industries, put in auction and give it to individuals or private. This policy is called as privatization. So if it comes into private, it will be more profitable. They can make it as more profitable. This is the idea behind that, instead of losses. Third policy is called as globalization. What do you mean by globalization? Connecting our Indian economy with the world economy. Connecting our Indian market with the world market. This policy is more important. Why? Once the liberalization started, privatization started, what happened together with that? Production increased. More and more people, individuals came into production. Production increased. India is not enough a market for to sell their goods. So we need more market in other countries. So globalization is very important. Selling our goods in the international market and bringing their goods in the Indian market. That is why the Chinese toys are selling in the Indian market. Volkswagen like that of cars came to India. Various outer products came to India, and our companies, Reliance, Tata, Nano, like that of companies are gone to foreign countries. So this is because of the policy of globalization. What is globalization? Connecting our economy with the world economy. Integration of our economy with the world market, which is called as the policy of globalization. So now the next is positive and negative aspects of these policies. Especially we are studying globalization, but these three policies are coming together. So one by one I will read for you. Beneficial or positive effects. First one, it will improve the productivity and efficiency in the use of resources through the process of competition. Competition will increase. Not only from Indian producers, even the foreign producers also will come here. So whenever the competition occurs, more and more production occurs, and that leads into proper usage of our resources. Second point says that the growth rate of economy is expected to go up. Our economy, rate of economy, level of the economy also going up, growing up. Third one, it allows the consumers to enjoy a wider range of goods and services at a lower cost. We consumers are getting varieties of goods in our hands. If you go into a shop, a clothes shop or any other shop, mobile shop, we get varieties of things in front of our hand. It is because of these policies. Foreign investment would raise the level of investment and would create employment opportunities in the economy. More and more investment, more and more foreign companies, Indian companies, it can lead into more and more employment opportunities. The level of technology would improve because of foreign technology. Technology also improved. We brought the foreign technology. Mobile phones, you see, all the foreign technology we are adopted. Cars, you see, various cars which are brought from outside. Various facilities are given in all these things. So the technology development also is good for us because of these policies. Now it is its negative aspects. What negative aspects it gives to us? First point, it may have a negative impact on employment and real wages on account of new technology. When we apply the new technology, it can lead into reduction of employment. Reduction of employment because of the approval of new technology. One computer can do the work of 10 people. This is also theory. This is also policy. So sometime it can lead into more and more unemployment situations. Next one, it does not contain any institutional arrangement to ensure the proper functioning of the new systems. There was no proper system to control these policies. No government institutions, no authorities to control what is going on inside. Capitalism, I already told you, market forces, demand and supply control the prices, not the government. So when it goes into capitalism, what happened? The market is controlled by whom? By the market forces of supply and demand, not by the government. So this is why it is said it does not contain any institutional arrangement. Next one, it is mainly beneficial to large industrialists, monopolistic companies. They got the benefit of the situations. They took out the benefit mostly, not the people in the villages. The common people, they didn't get any benefit from these policies, 3 new policies. Poverty eradication programs have been adversely affected because of globalization. We were having good programs for removal of poverty. In the first 5-year plan, second 5-year plan, we put more stress upon the removal of poverty. Once the new policies adopted, we are more interested in profit making, not giving welfare to the people. Because of foreign technology, the problems of energy crisis such as water shortage and pollution are increasing very fast. So pollution increasing very fast, water shortage increasing very fast because of the new technology which we are adopted. Next point, globalization is posing a challenge to the sovereignty of the country. Sovereignty, what is sovereignty? Supreme power of the country. Our country, we are the decision makers of our country. That is sovereignty. When the foreign companies comes like this and whenever they start their production in our country, somewhere else we lose our control upon them. So this is why it is saying globalization is posing a challenge to the sovereignty of the country. So these are the positive and negative aspects or policies of these 3 new policies. Now we are going into a topic is multinational companies. What do you mean by multinational companies? Companies which are having a trade relation with more than one countries, like our Tata, like our Reliance, Coca-Cola, Pepsi. These are the companies, those who are having trade relation with more than one country, around 10, 20, 30, 40 companies they are related with their trade relations. That type of companies are called as multinational companies. Now the question can be asked like this: how do a multinational company flourish their business in another country? So there are 3-4 points for that. First point is that by joint venture. Joint venture means, I give an example, Hero Honda. Hero is an Indian company, Honda is a Japanese company. It's a collaboration, Hero Honda. So they started the production in that name Honda company came from Japan, and Indian company collaborated and newly started a production, Hero Honda, sold in the name Hero Honda. Joint venture, Maruti Indian company, Suzuki Japanese company. So in the same way, joint venture, by collaborating two companies and making its production in that new country. Second one, by buying local companies already running industry very well. So one MNC came and purchased that industry and put their name on that. Bank of Rajasthan, it was the name given for ICICI Bank here in Rajasthan. Bank of Rajasthan it was. ICICI came and purchased that bank. It was international bank, ICICI, and it purchased the Bank of Rajasthan and put the name ICICI. By buying local companies, the MNCs can flourish in a new country. Third one, by giving order to the local people. Order to local people, if you go to Ludhiana, like that of places, wherever sports instruments are producing more, sports equipments are making more. These companies are given order to the people of that area, local people of that area, and they ask them to give the production. From them, these companies, from these local people, they collect these things and put their brand items on that and selling it in the market. So this is also a way an MNC flourish in a country. How? By buying local companies. So by joint venture, by buying local companies, and by giving order to the local people. So these are the three ways by which an MNC flourish in another country. I think so these topics are very clear to you. If you are having any doubt, you can ask to me. We have to start from these are many of the things are not given in the book. So the introductory part I start from 1947, the capitalistic and socialistic economy. Then we come into 1991. We started with three policies: globalization, liberalization, and privatization. Its positive and negative aspects. And as a last part, we studied MNC companies. I think so. The topics are clear to you. Okay. Bye.